Well, welcome to today's Q&A. It is the 3rd of September, coming off of a long weekend for some of us. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and that things went well, that you were still able to enjoy, decompress a little bit. I know a lot of you were still on the road working hard, and obviously we thank you very much for all the hard work that you have done. And more than just this last couple of days, but definitely the increase over the summer months, or the last several months, I should say, not just summer, but just huge shout out to all of our professional drivers out there, our in-house as well, your supporting staff who's been moving around, a little bit of shaking up going on, doing some good things. We've seen some growth, which we absolutely love. We're starting to see that growth on the action side, on not only on bringing in additional business, but also being able to increase those miles and start running those lanes. So, plus, right? Well, hello, Mr. Timothy Olden. How are you, sir? Good to have you on here, man. Well, it is the 3rd of September, and I know we normally do birthdays and anniversaries on our Facebook page, but we didn't have a live yesterday because of the holiday, so I would really like to recognize those birthdays and anniversaries today. So I hope you will help me celebrate with all of these individuals. We'll go through and list off whose birthday and whose anniversary celebrating. Oh, speaking of, we got a new calendar picture. This is Brandon Erickson, right? Yeah, I was going to say, Brandon, I think, took this picture. This is in Ames, Iowa. Obviously, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's our Iowa State football truck. So, new picture for the Facebook group. I'll be updating that here later today as well. But new month, new picture, right? We've been taking pictures, by the way, from our professional drivers. So if you want to submit them, you can submit to marketing@deckermail.com. Again, that's marketing@deckermail.com. And then hopefully we can get in a whole bunch of them to choose for next year's calendar as well. So we've had some beautiful ones coming in. Over the weekend, I had a beautiful one from David Fisher as well. So we'll post that as in addition to everything else. Riley, how are ya? Tim says he's doing good. Good. All right, birthdays and anniversaries. Yesterday, Terry McDowell and Blake Olson both celebrated mechanics for us here at Decker. Both celebrated birthdays, so happy belated birthday. Miss Alexa Anderson celebrated a birthday. Today is celebrated. And so is Andrea Emerson. So happy birthday to Andrea in the health and benefits. So Andrea is the health and benefits manager. That brings up a couple reminders. We do have a webinar coming up here, I believe on Wednesday. If you guys want to check that out as well, we'll get that posted. If you haven't seen your newsletter, which went out Friday, not yesterday, it went out Friday because we wanted to make sure we got the shop hours in there. There is some information, I believe, on the staying healthy, preventive exams, stuff like that. If you have questions, obviously reach out to the birthday girl. Otherwise, go check it out on the newsletter, and you can read up on it, follow the link, and get more information. So I think there's a Wednesday webinar. All right, back to birthdays and anniversaries. Who else? William Brown celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy belated, William. Brandon Layton and Marvin Terrebonne celebrated birthdays on the 1st. So Sunday? Yes, Sunday. Carl Brock celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday, Carl. Davlin McKim also celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Davlin. And Wesley Winston celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. Tomorrow, Corey Meck celebrating a birthday. The 4th, Wednesday, the 4th of September already. Stevenson Beville celebrating a birthday on Thursday. Now I'm starting to get confused on the days. I got it. Mark Sweat's also celebrating a birthday on Thursday. Friday, Diane Rosales celebrates a birthday. on the 6th. Benford Ellis also celebrates a birthday on the 6th. Happy birthday. Mr. Tim Burns is celebrating a birthday on the 9th. Celebrating a birthday. Oh, now I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, that's next Monday. All right, we'll roll back here a little bit. James Ebinger and Jeff Paul both celebrate birthdays on the 7th. So happy birthday, both of you. All right, we've got some anniversaries to celebrate. Yesterday, right? Yes, yesterday the 2nd, David Hamp celebrated 10 years. David is a mechanic here for us at Decker. Brian Silvero celebrating 20 years. And Brian is a hustler, 20 years, celebrated yesterday for Brian. Maggie Strait is celebrating her 4-year anniversary. Happy anniversary, Maggie. Greg Allison is celebrating his 5 years. Congrats, Greg. Gary Broadhead celebrating a 1-year anniversary coming up Thursday. Thursday? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Am I missing any for... Well, William Hobby celebrated 4 years yesterday, so happy anniversary, William. And a couple coming up on the 7th, so we have, Saturday. I had to double check, just gotta make sure. So Chase Andrews is celebrating an anniversary on Saturday. Michael Cheeks celebrating a birthday on Saturday. James Gibbs also celebrating a Saturday anniversary. Leon Houston, happy anniversary to you as well, coming up on Saturday. And Robert McMillan celebrating an anniversary on Saturday. Happy anniversary. And last but not least, Mr. Chance Newsom celebrating an anniversary on Saturday the 7th. So if you see them, please wish them a happy birthday, a happy anniversary. A little celebrating along with it. Awesome. All right. Well, let's kind of dive into some of the things that are happening here at Decker. Let's kind of fill you in on some of the Decker news and reminders that are going out. Speaking of reminders, in September, we have a couple of pretty important weeks. Not only do we have our Driver Appreciation Week, which is usually the second full week of September. Actually, it usually is, but it is the 15th through the 21st. I could never remember. 15th through the 21st of September, so it's the third week this year. I swear it's usually the second. But anyways, we've got Driver Appreciation Week, so we're doing our best to have it loaded of activities and drawings. Each year we do drawings, we do lunches, we have drawings for prizes, and so we'll be kind of putting out a schedule of events there for you on our Facebook page. So keep your eyes on that so that we can keep you in the loop on what we've got coming up here for you. Hopefully the connection's a little better here. I do have a couple of announcements, or updates, I should say, which is some of them I know that you guys have been asking. We were told one thing, and we have been later discovered that it's different. So I'm going to fill you in on some of those instead of being so vague, but bear with me as we gather some of this information for you and start to get you in some of these updates. Obviously, we're up and rolling. Like I said, we've got a lot of growth here in the last couple of months. And the huge plus is that you guys are going to be seeing a lot of that growth. We had our COO, Bob Elkins, he's reached out and kind of given an update on our growth. We're going to try and do this on a regular basis just so that you can recognize what's being done and how we are improving for setting you guys up for better miles and obviously just an overall better system there for you, home time and support. So that being said, we had a huge win last week with some pretty big awards, and we're starting to see that increase in in freight for that award already. So what that means is with that big win, which is about 5,000, an additional 5,000 loads annually, we're going to start seeing a lot of that starting this week. And we want to make sure that we are continuing to provide that high level quality of on-time service, just overall customer service, not only to our new customers, but also to our ongoing customers who've stuck with us and been there with us through all of this. So we want to make sure that as professional drivers, and obviously as your supporting staff back here, that you're always being safe. We're on time for each of our loads. And and if you guys need any help, please utilize your driver team leaders. That's what they're there for. They're able to make a lot of these decisions for you where they weren't necessarily before, but now they are equipped with that knowledge, that expertise to go ahead and help you out. Sometimes we've got these service sensitive labels to some of our customers, and that being said, we'll have to have you immediately confirm that on the load, and for the on-time delivery with your driver team leader. So again, please make sure that you're following all the instructions that are being given to you, and then that way we can get past some of these frustrations that you've had in the past. So if we've got any trip plan changes, you're communicating that with your driver manager, your driver team leader, as well as them communicating that with you ahead of time. So yeah, partnering this customer service and operations just a little bit more smoothly for you, make it a little more proactive. Christina, how are you? Christina Lawson, awesome. Thanks for joining us. All right, so that being said, we'll continue to give you updates on what's going on. But yeah, a huge win for us this last week, and we're already starting to see some of those this week. We will be. Maybe not today, but yeah, right out of the gate, basically. Speaking right out of the gate, it is September, so with September comes the chain laws. Are you guys familiar with those? Colorado chain laws say you've got to carry chains, carry chains on your truck if you're going in any of those mountainous areas, right? From September 1st to May 31st. So you have to at least carry them. Usually when I bring that up, I get the question, what's your chain up policy? What does that mean? So, and obviously a lot of you guys have been here for quite some time, but as a reminder, we are relying on you as professional drivers to make the call. Everybody has different levels of skill and ability, and so again, as a professional driver, you're going to know your level of skill. You're going to know if you can handle something. There we go. You're going to know your limitations. That's what I wanted to say. And if you're not wanting to chain, if you're in an area where you do not feel safe, that putting on chains isn't gonna help you out, then that's okay. Just communicate with your driver team leader. You guys, that's it. Communicate with your driver team leader. Having that conversation just lets us know where you're at. Lets us know if we need to make arrangements for that load, additional arrangements for that load, or get hold of the customer, or whatever it might be. Weather is outside of our hands, right? We don't have any control over the weather. Whether or not we can handle certain situations is going to be on a case-by-case basis. So please, if you are not going to chain, communicate with your driver team leader. And if you've got to throw the chains, communicate with your driver team leader. And the reason I say that is because it's going to take some time, right? It's going to take a good hour to chain and unchain and to remove your chains, I would think. I know everybody's speed is a little bit different on that, but in general, it's going to take you a little bit of time, depending on how experienced you are at throwing chains. If you have never thrown chains before, we do have a tutorial video on how to chain up your tires. Please watch that. Even if you don't plan on chaining up, please watch that. It is a very short video, but that way you're going to be familiar with how to chain. Because in all honesty, chains are not designed to get you down the road further and keep you moving. Chains are to get you out of trouble, not to get you into it, so don't be putting yourself into that position. So they're there to get you out of trouble. You need to be carrying them from the 1st of September to the 31st of May. And if you have questions on any of the additional chain requirements, please check out the newsletter. We did include one of the, there's a, what do I say, like a visual, like an infographic from the state of California, the Department of Transportation of the state of California, that is really beneficial when it comes to chain requirements and where the chains should be and all of that. So please go check that out if you have additional questions, and do watch the video so that we can make sure that you have a good understanding of how to chain. And if you need help, by the way, if you're at the terminal, say you're in Missoula or Fort Dodge, and you need to know how to chain, you want a hands-on demonstration, just ask. Just ask. We would like to prepare you the best that we can, so that, for safety reasons. So, Christina says, I am a rider with one of your lease purchase drivers, Sean Tatum. Hello, Sean and Christina. And we're good. Thanks for listening, or thanks we are listening as he drives. Good deal. Good. Well, if you have questions, Christina, make sure you put those in the chat. If he has any questions as well, relay them over for me. I might be a little slow at responding, but I'll get there. You know, you can't control my speed. All right. So what am I missing on the chain law? I think we pretty much covered that. Just want to make sure that we had everybody up to date on all of that. All right, so we've got that safety feature out of the way. Now let's celebrate a little bit of safety awards. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Every month we recognize those professional drivers who earned their 6-month safety jacket. And in order to earn your 6-month safety jacket, you need to be here at Decker for your first 6 months. If you have no CSA violations or no CSA points, and or a DOT preventable accident, or any accident for that matter. So if you are without a preventable accident or a DOT inspection resulting in any CSA violations, you earn a safety jacket. So these are professional driver safety jackets. You can only earn them in your first 6 months. And of course, later on, there are additional things that you can earn, like driver of the month, driver of the year, all through, obviously safety. And then of course we have our monthly bonuses, which are our scorecard and our safety bonus. And those take those things into consideration as well, those safety items. So that being said, let's celebrate our August safety jacket winners. For all of those who had their first 6 months of driving without a preventable accident or a DOT inspection resulting in a CSA violation, we have Terrence Hopes, Michael Hart, Joshua Hawkins, Brandon Stickley, Douglas Little, Frederick Hall, Albert Douglas, Raphael Kirkland, and Anthony O'Neill. Congratulations to each of you for winning that jacket, and we'll get your sizes and all that good stuff sent out to you. I think actually Steph was already on it. She already got those ordered for you, and they are on their way. So congratulations, and shout out to Steph, by the way, for taking care of all of that. Steph Haid she's a master of many titles. Well, maybe not titles, but many hats. And one of the things that she does is run the company store, and we have in Fort Dodge. So we've got the company store in Fort Dodge. We also have a store in Missoula, and then we have some items in Bessemer, Alabama as well at our different terminals. But the main one, and most of the supplies for all of it, are ran by Steph Haid. And if you are looking to purchase any items, you usually get a hold of her. So whether you're going online, which if you go online, go to DeckerTruckline.com and then click on the company store. That's the best way to do it. And the reason I say that is If you search for it, there currently is an old link out there that goes kind of to no man's land. It goes to an old store, but we're not seeing any of those orders. So we are not sending them out to you. So please make sure that you go to the Shopify store that's on the Decker Truckline website so that you're actually getting what you ordered and you're able to order it. Plus it's updated. You know, you can see a lot of the other items on there. The old store really didn't have a whole lot in there. But Dean, how are you? Minnesota. 72 and lots of sun. That's good to hear. You know, speaking of Minnesota, we had, I think of snow, sorry. In Montana, we had 10 to 12 inches of snow on one of the passes already. Yeah. So that's where you got to be ready for those chains. Get yourself out of trouble. Don't be putting yourself into it. Be prepared. Speaking of being prepared, we have quite a few winners. We have our top winners for our driver of the month. They're very well prepared when it comes to their day, their time management, the miles, and of course, safety. So we recognize our safety, our August safety jacket winners, but let's also recognize our professional driver of the month for July. A little different here. August safety jacket winners, yes, but we're actually recognizing July's driver of the month. The reason being is the bonuses, the scorecard bonus and the safety bonus, those are paid out usually the third pay period of the month following when you ran it. So for example, for July, we paid last week, you got your bonuses, right? You got them paid out, I think it was on the 26th. So those were paid out. Following the safety and scorecard bonus, that's when the driver of the month bonus award comes out. And so it's from the month prior. And in this case, because it's already September, it just came up real quick, then it's actually July's driver of the month. So let's celebrate these driver of the month. For July 2024, our over-the-road refrigerated dry van, our reefer and dry van divisions are combined. So our over-the-road refrigerated dry van winner, Daryl Mobley. So congratulations, Daryl, for winning the top driver of the month for the refrigerated van division in the over-the-road. And Rita Tyler took the runner-up position. Congrats, Rita. Our more regional refrigerated and van division, Tony Nelson takes the title. Congrats, Tony. And Steve Alliger and Elizabeth Fuller are our runner-ups for that division. So our more regional refrigerated division is a little bit bigger than our over-the-road, and therefore we have two runner-ups versus just having one. So that way we can kind of even out that competition a little bit. Our Midwest Flatbed Division winner, Jeremy Moritz, takes the title. Congratulations, Jeremy. And our over-the-road Flatbed Division winner, William Perez. William took the title for that, and Hugh Mills is our runner-up for the division. Again, that's our over-the-road Flatbed Division. And our owner-operator lease purchase winner, Mr. John Hodges. Congratulations, John. Now, for the driver of the month, this is a pretty big deal because it's a huge stepping stone to the driver of the year and the grand champion. So grand champion wins a $15,000 prize. That is usually earned throughout the year, but recognized about the end of the first quarter of the year following. So in 2025, it'll probably be March, April that we do the recognition and celebrate the grand champion. The driver of the year, the only way you can become driver of the year is if you earned driver of the month. And you can only earn driver of the month one time within the calendar year. So keep that in mind, per division, I guess, for that matter. But yeah, only one time within the calendar year. And then your name goes into the running for driver of the year. Driver of the year is a $3,000 bonus for each of the divisions. So again, we've got our over-the-road refrigerated and our regional refrigerated We have our over-the-road flatbed and our regional flatbed, and then we have our owner-operator lease purchase division. So we've got those 5 divisions in the running for the Grand Champion. So backing up a little bit, so we got a $15,000 prize for the Grand Champion, just one winner. We have our $3,000 prize for the 5 Driver of the Years, for one for each division. And then we have our Driver of the Month. So these are stepping stones up there. And the Driver of the Month wins a $100 gift card as well as a $50 gift card to the Decker store. So a $100 Visa gift card and a $50 gift card to the Decker store. The runner-ups for each of the division, you also get a gift card as well as a gift from the Decker store. So you get a gift card, a $50 gift card, and then a gift from the Decker store. That, again, Steph will be sending out to you, so she'll reach out to you on that. But anyways, if you guys have any questions whatsoever on that, please feel free to reach out to us. Either put them in the chat or the comments, or reach out to your driver manager and we can get some information on you. Or get some information on over to you. Fair? All right. I mentioned earlier that on Wednesday we have, usually we have a webinar on Wednesdays from Principal Financial, but we have make an appointment for preventive exam. So that's a reminder for staying healthy. I know coming up here in a couple of months, we'll have our open enrollment and stuff for our benefits package. But in the meantime, we've got a push to stay healthy. This time of year is when everybody starts to get their sniffles and beyond. We really don't want that. So make an appointment, stay on top of your health, and especially when you're out on the road, if we can have some preventive care for you ahead of time, that's great. Plus, we do have Doctor on Demand that you also be able to access if you need to access a doctor, you can do that through the Doctor on Demand, which is just using your phone. So you can do a video chat with them. You can also do it on a tablet or a computer, but that way you don't have to go in and make the appointment, which can make life a little bit easier. But during the preventive exams, usually what they'll do is they'll review your family history with you. Sometimes they'll do some screenings and vaccinations if you're needing some vaccinations, whatever that might be. Everybody's is a little bit different. And then if you have any concerns, they'll be able to address those. But it's always good to get in front of that, right? All right. Speaking of getting in front of things, last week at the tail end of last week, so Friday, we found out that our Epic View our package that we have purchased on behalf of our drivers, it is no longer going to have the NFL Sunday Ticket. Now, that being said, I can guarantee you that Mr. Decker, that Dale had been working with them for quite some time trying to make that right. Last year so when the big announcement came last year that the Sunday Ticket was bought out from DirecTV to YouTube, is it YouTube streaming? YouTube TV? I can't remember exactly, but it is now no longer under the DirecTV contract. So because it's not, they can't allow that to be part of the package anymore. Well, last year they reassured us that it will be for at least another 3 to 5 years. The contract had changed. It's out of their hands, so they were not able to make it happen for us because obviously what they were told didn't come back, didn't follow through. So therefore what they told us also didn't. That being said, we have worked out a plan to save significantly for our Decker drivers. If you guys are interested in checking that out, please reach out to your driver team leaders. First of all, we are sorry to report that NFL Sunday Ticket package is no longer automatically being included in that Epic View plan, that I can reassure you that Mr. Decker had every intention to get that sorted out for you. He worked very hard, very diligently to get that part of the package. And for that matter, so did Epic View. They worked hard to get it for you, and they did get us quite a deal. So if you want to take advantage of it, please reach out to your driver team leader so that they can make the arrangements with Epic View so that you don't miss out on that NFL Sunday ticket package. Again, it's not already included in the Epic View, but it is a very good deal. Please read your newsletter for details. So if you want to take advantage of it, you can. I know the season is starts on the 6th? No, it starts on the 8th. But let your driver team leader know before Friday, the 6th. Please let them know. Because we are really sorry that this came to it, but we are still able to access it with this really good deal. So, yes, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us on it. So, hi, Andrew. How are you? Good to have you, man. Yeah, I don't know where else to say except I am sorry to say that it isn't included. I know when I was asked before, I was adamant in trying to reassure you that it was, because that's what we were told. And now a little different story. So we want to make sure that we are doing our best to make it right for you, and that's why Dale worked so hard with Epic View to make this happen. So, all right, good, Andrew, good. Yes, okay, so I think I got you covered there. There was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, there were some delays over the weekend as well that we weren't able to report. Let me see if I can pull that up. I had gotten some of that information. Give me a second here and let me see if I can pull it up without messing up our connection, because I've got a little thing that says excellent connection, but we haven't had the best in the last couple of weeks. So, and I'm pretty sure it's because of so much rain. So I don't want to screw that up, but I do want to make sure that you guys have got some great, most up-to-date information here on everything. So give me a second. Maybe. Okay. It's loading. Give me a sec. Okay, so also we did find out that the contracts on the Disney channels with DirecTV, they're renegotiating, or they're in negotiations right now. So it doesn't sound like those are currently working. They usually will work themselves out, he said. But he wanted to make sure that we were aware of that, especially on the back end of the news on the NFL. So just so you know, that is being negotiated through DirecTV, and we're just kind of waiting to hear how that plays out. And hopefully it'll be played out by the end of the week, if not before that, hopefully by Wednesday. But looking for some positive answers on that. So I know a couple of people had questioned it. We just want to make sure that we're staying on top of it. And as for the streaming, so we switched from Epic View, which we've had, to Epic View Plus. And we did that not just a couple months ago, not too long. We did a lot of testing before we even dove into the Epic View Plus, because we wanted to make sure that it was obviously worth the money for you and giving you a lot more for what we're, just more convenience. So in the past, with Epic View, we had our, it was more of a, what do I want to say? Not streaming, but with that DirecTV, we had data, Wi-Fi. Now it's streaming. So instead of satellite, so it's streaming. And we also have, instead of data, we now have free Wi-Fi. Well, that being said, I don't know. I saw that some of you guys were having some problems with it. So we are working on that as well, making sure that that streaming works a lot smoother for you, because that was why he wanted to get it for you in the first place. So we'll be working on that, continuing to work on that, I should say, and give you any updates as we get them. So we'll keep passing that on. Fair enough? All right, let's make these good for you. All right. Also, if you have, I do have it handy. Okay, so I do want to remind you, for some of you, that if you have access to this, if you don't, that's okay, we can get you a digital version. But in there is information on parking. And the parking, where to park, when to park, there are maps in there to show you where you can park at each location. You've got truck parking, car parking, truck and trailer parking, empty trailer parking, loaded trailer parking, etc. It's all identified in those maps depending on which terminal location you're at. And that being said, we do ask that you abide by that, because it can make things difficult for some of our professional drivers if you are parking in the wrong spot. It can also make it difficult for those, for any mechanics or hostlers who are, not lumbers, excuse me, but hostlers who are working with the trailers. So if there's a trailer that needs to be repaired, there's a certain spot for that trailer to be parked. If there's a loaded reefer unit that is running, that needs to be maintained, there's a certain place for that to be parked. Please make sure that you are parking in the correct locations at the terminals, for just to help everybody out, right? Let's make this a little streamlined for ourselves. Perfect. All right. Well, let's get down to answering your questions on what's available here at Decker. Dive into that, because I know a lot of you came for that information alone. We do have over-the-road refrigerated as well as regional refrigerated options. When I say regional, I do want to be clear on the running areas, because it is broader than some regional, but obviously not as broad as our over-the-road. Our over-the-road is coast to coast. You run a lot out west, state of Washington, Northern Oregon, Montana, Utah. That's our over-the-road division. You're usually out 2 to 3 weeks at a time if you're in the over-the-road division. Now, as far as regional refrigerated, it's more 11 days out, 3 days home. You're not running west of Denver. So everything else, Midwest, towards the east, yes, that's all in the area. We don't do a whole lot in the New England states. Actually, we have a load in southwestern New York. That's an ice cream load. That's about as far as you'll get with the Northeast. But so for the most part, a real heavy within the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, southern Minnesota usually from St. Cloud, or actually usually from St. Paul south. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kansas, of course, and some Nebraska. We've got Texas and Oklahoma freight there. We have quite a bit from Texas to the Carolinas for freight, and that's going to include, obviously, Mississippi, Alabama. Tennessee is a good spot for us. We do hire out of Tennessee in both the refrigerated flatbed for that area, but we do have some opportunities there. Now, if you're in an area we can get you home every 11 days and home for 3, you also have the option of over the road, so coast to coast. And then we can get you more details on what's available out of wherever you live. If you want to go ahead and put in the chat your zip code, we can be more specific for that. So I can let you know where exactly, or what exactly we have out of your area if we do, and what you can expect for home time. Rate of pay is going to be based off your experience, your level of, or years of experience. However, that being said, we do have a minimum pay, kind of a safety net there for you. But our job and your job is to make sure that you soar over that minimum pay and your rate of pay and the miles exceed that. So the better you do, the more miles, the better you do, right? and experience. Good combo. So we have that available. Like I said, 11 days out, 3 days home, refrigerated. We do run nighttime, not only, but we do have a lot of night runs. We do a lot of Chicago area. I'm going to come back to information on the equipment, just so, because flatbed and refrigerated pretty much run this similar equipment. Obviously different trailers. As far as flatbed, we have some home weekly options. If you live anywhere from Iowa City over to Columbus, Ohio. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Iowa City to Indianapolis, up north to Chicago, Milwaukee, back towards Mason City, Iowa, Fort Dodge, Iowa. Anywhere along that route, we can get you home on not only on a weekly basis, but also with a minimum of $1,450 a week. So it's a little bit higher than that $1,000 a week safety net, but $1,450 a week. And again, your rate of pay per mile and the miles you run can exceed that, but in that division, the $1,450 is usually the norm. That's our Midwest Flatbed division. Yes, you are responsible for tarping and securing. Same with our over-the-road flatbed, which is, most of that is going to be southeast to southeast, Midwest. We go into the Pennsylvania area. That's pretty common for us. But Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Chicago, all very good areas for us for our over-the-road flatbed division. You don't really go west of Denver in that division. So, and very consistent loads there too. Texas is busy for us. Mm-hmm. But again, check with us on the hiring area, because the hiring areas change, even though the running area is pretty similar. It depends on what we have available. The number of drivers we have in that area, and that kind of stuff can change on a regular basis. As we get our loads, like I said, we've been winning quite a bit of these loads, these contracts. We love to see that. We'll continue to get access to that. So, yes. Dean says, is that parking book available somewhere? I've never seen one. I know they have maps on Transflo. Yeah, the maps are on Transflo. The parking book, this is usually given, this specifically, this isn't a parking book, but this is for our orientation class. So this is provided to our new classes. But you can also get the digital version online, and that's through our intranet, I believe. I'll go look for it and see if I can't get that over to you so you have access to it. Sound good? All right. That way I can get you a link for it. Perfect. So yeah, the over-the-road flatbed doesn't really go west of Denver, but up and down the Midwest, yes. Towards the east, yes. Definitely from Texas to the Carolinas, real heavy that way, and Tennessee, Kentucky, yeah. And like I said, the Midwest is real heavy for freight, whether it's refrigerated or flatbed. Excellent. If you guys have questions and you want to speak to a recruiter, this telephone number that keeps flying across the screen, 877-433-2537, that is the telephone number to get a hold of our recruiting department, and you can speak directly to them on what's currently available, because like I said, that can change, what's currently available, what the running lanes are, what the pay is like, because it'll be based off your experience level, and equipment and all that stuff. So let me talk about equipment. I love talking about our equipment. It's one of just mostly because other people get excited about it, and so obviously it's even more entertaining. But so our equipment, mostly the 579 Peterbilts. We have a few 389s. Those are usually for our veteran drivers. So when you're coming aboard to Decker, you're probably looking at a 579. They're automatics. They are fully equipped with APUs and inverters, refrigerators, microwaves, CB units. We have navigation. We have the Transflo app, Geotab in the truck for communication and paperwork and all that good stuff. I think I mentioned TV, right? If not, that Epic View that I've been talking about, that's TV. It's 100 plus channels. It's Showtime, Cinemax, HBO. We have, what else? We have free Wi-Fi through that as well. It is a smart TV. That's what I was going to say. It's a smart TV, and I believe it's a 22-inch. The trucks are double bunk, and yeah, they are. These suckers are fully equipped. Lots of room, great equipment, very, very well maintained. And then we also have a few Volvos and a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. So the Volvos, for the flatbed side, you're probably looking at a 740. For the refrigerated side, 860s, 780s. It's a little bit different, obviously. We've got the headache rack with the flatbed, and so it's a little bit different. Not as high as the roof. Roof? Can you tell where somebody lives by the way they say roof? Christina says, does Decker give cost of living raises? We don't. We don't call it, but however, let me rephrase that. Well, not rephrase it, but let me explain it. We don't give cost of living raises. What we do is you get a penny raise every year on your anniversary until you hit the max. Now, the max right now is at 70 cents a mile, whether you're in refrigerated or you're in flatbed. So as of now, Christina, yeah, that's it's the penny raise after or on your anniversary each year. When you first start, you'll get a raise after 90 days, and then again annually until you get 70 is the max right now with refrigerated and flatbed. Please keep in mind 10 cents per mile, whether you're at 65 or 70 cents a mile or whatever. 10 cents per mile is per diem, so you're not taxed on 10 cents a mile. So it gives you a little bit more take home, obviously, each week, but that way it's figured in. And if you are new to Decker, I'm bringing up this book because sometimes you guys don't see this. Some of our current drivers haven't seen it because they've been here for so long. We've only been doing this book for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, and we've made adjustments throughout. But most recent update is we've put together examples of what the pay looks like, whether you're getting the minimum pay or the mileage pay. Either way, you're getting mileage pay. It's just the difference that Decker makes up. But it breaks it down if you're wondering what it would look like on your pay stub. So the per diem's on there is why I sidetracked and bounced over there. So yeah. Christina says, what about lease purchase? We are not bringing on additional lease purchase right now, or owner operators for that matter. So we do, obviously we have people who are doing lease purchase, who started lease purchase, obviously before we stopped doing it, and we will continue to, those contracts. However, we don't want to do additional contracts, and let me tell you why. Our lease purchase program that isn't available, so I don't want to give you the wrong impression. It's not currently available, but our lease purchase program that for our current drivers who already are in it, it's paid a percentage. So it's 72% of the load plus the fuel surcharge. So if you're on the refrigerated side, you get 72% of the load of the gross load revenue, plus 90% of the fuel surcharge on refrigerated freight, so temperature controlled, 100% on dry freight. Because Decker pays for the reefer fuel, so 10% will go towards the reefer fuel, the 90% will go towards the truck, which is obviously you as the lease operator. And then the same thing, 72% of the load plus the fuel surcharge for the owner-operator. Please remember that we do not have these positions available. So I'm answering the question, but I don't want you assuming that it's available. The reason it's not is because right now with the economy, the rates are not in your favor. They're not. I mean, ask owner-operators. So, yes, we have the lease purchase program for those who are already in it, but we came off of a high, so we had some great pay, great paying high loads. They aren't paying what they were a couple of years ago, so we don't advise people to go into the lease purchase program right now. So they won't get a raise, though. like lease purchase. Oh, correct, Christina, that they get, well, for that said, so if you're asking if lease purchase gets a raise, then let me change my answer. The answer is no as far as percentage-wise. So it's 72% of the load and the fuel surcharge, okay? So that part doesn't change. However, if they already drive for us, Christina, I'm hoping that I'm answering your questions or your comments, because obviously you can only put so much into the chat. So I'm hoping I'm answering you. But for our current lease purchase and our current owner operators, if you are already driving for us, we are not raising the percentage. It's still 72% of the load plus the fuel surcharge. However, big however, if you've noticed in the last couple of months, we have restructured quite a bit in-house, right? So we have a pricing team. We also have we've got new customer service reps. We've got new organization there, like organizational management. Is that the right word for that? Anyways, so it's a new structure. That's what I want to say. New structure in the customer service, new structure in the sales and pricing and operations. If you've been with us long enough, you've noticed those things have changed. That being said, we've been able to get some renegotiations on contracts. We've also been able to get additional contracts. And a lot of this a lot of the pricing obviously will affect our lease operators and owner operators because you're at 72% of the load. So your percentage isn't changing, but with the way that we've restructured a lot of this, obviously we're going at better rates, which is obviously better for our owner operator and lease purchase drivers. So if I'm answering your question that you're asking, making sure that I'm answering, then no, but it's kind of building that way for you, right? Because that percentage, even though that percentage is the same, that gross revenue, that the gross line revenue is increasing. So there's my answer. There, okay, yes. Patience, I will get there to the answer. All right. But again, those of you who are looking for lease purchase, please do not, okay, good. Please don't expect it to be available to you here at Decker right now. I know we get questions about it all the time. It is not yet a good opportunity for you, or good timing for you, I should say. We want to make sure that we are taking very good care of our professional drivers. And so that's why we've kind of taken a few steps back, make sure we're evaluating our loads, our drivers' home times, and when I say loads, I'm talking like overall, the routes that they're on, the gross revenue on each load, the customers, making sure that we've got someone on the front and back end on each side to make sure we can get you more and more pre-planned. So there you go. Andrew Hurricane. Okay, do you hire company drivers out of, we do hire out of Mississippi. Let me double check your zip code though, okay? Wait for it, I'm slow. Oh, that's why. I have both refrigerated and flatbed opportunities out of your area of Mississippi, Andrew. So yes, home time for refrigerated, I've got 11 days out and 3 days home, or I've got 2 to 3 weeks out at a time and then home for 4 to 5 days. So that's those are my refrigerated options. Flatbed option, I have over-the-road flatbed, which would get you home every other weekend. That's the difference with flatbed versus refrigerated. I can get you home on the weekends with flatbed. I mean, you're coming home on a Friday night or a Saturday morning and leaving Saturday night or Sunday morning. No. Let me rephrase that. You're coming home Friday night or Saturday morning and leaving Sunday night or Monday morning. There we go. Wow, I was really cutting you short. So, yeah, with flatbed, it's more on the weekends. With refrigerated, it can be sometimes, but it's not always. So there's wiggle room on that a little bit. Trying to hone in on that just a little bit more for you. With your rate of pay per mile, Andrew, it's going to be based off of your experience level, so your years of experience. In the flatbed division, we do require that you have a very minimum of 6 months of flatbed specific experience. Otherwise, a year of tractor trailer experience, and then we can train you in flatbed. Now, as for the refrigerated, it was a weird sound. As for the refrigerated divisions, we can train you if you are brand new and a recent graduate from an approved school. We can. However, we do prefer a minimum of 6 months of experience. So if we have a training position available, then we can, but again, preferred a minimum of 6 months of experience. And then your rate of pay at the entry level, I think the rate of pay is 52 cents a mile. 10 cents of that's per diem. And then obviously it goes up. If you have 10 plus years of experience, I think 65 cents a mile in the refrigerated. So 10 cents of that's per diem, all cases. So there you go. All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys hopping on here today and spending some time with me. Hope I was able to answer some questions. Christina, thank you for your patience on getting around to answering you after I figured out what you were looking for. But you guys, if you have any additional questions, please reach out to the recruiting department or leave them in the chat and I will be answering them throughout the week too. But the number to the recruiting department is 877-433-2537. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com and they can get connected with you there too. That'll work either way. All right. In the meantime, I will keep you updated as much as possible. Make sure you're checking your newsletters if you're current here at Decker. And yeah, I appreciate all that you guys do. Stay safe. You're welcome, Christina. Take care, you guys.